Imagine this. A basketball player is running down the court, dribbling the ball as he makes his way towards his destination. As he pushes to the other team, he turns and shoots, adding 2 points to the scoreboard. The activities that we consider sports take a level of intensity to win the game overall. When thinking about the topic of, is dance a sport or not? The answer is no. According to this graph, it's not really about the numbers. It's more of, does dance pop up on the most popular sports down here? No. When dance is a way to let go and be free of worries, but in a competition setting, the scoring is done in a way of opinion that only inspires you to be better. A dancer is an athlete in their own form, but should not be considered a sport because it is an art form, there is no universal scoring system, and because of the freedom that is brought upon the performer. As a dancer, others need to know that dance should not be considered a sport. My first reasoning on this position is to point out that dance is more of an art form than an actual sport. With dance, there takes a certain level of performance quality. According to Odyssey Online, dance is so much more than a sport. Dance is a physical exertion of skill that is capable of tapping into an audience's emotion to make them feel a specific way. By just going through the movements and making your energy go out into the audience is something that I learned to do just a couple years ago. I can remember being in Wisconsin for nationals all by myself and stepping on stage for a solo that I had never performed yet. When the music started to pick up, I actually experienced the feeling of never wanting the moment to end, and it is one of the greatest performances that I have done to this day. Although I don't consider myself to be in a sport, I am an athlete. This is commonly confused with being part of a sport for many people in the activity. Yes, there is a certain level of athleticism that needs to be the base, but it's overall about the impact that you make upon the audience. Now that dance is defined as an art form, there are even bigger details about the competition aspect of the art. My second reasoning is that there is no consistent universal scoring procedure to the actual sport. Actually, nothing can be perfectly consistent. At my studio, we are trained for the competition world that is full of lots of talent. We are all very competitive, but it is mostly with ourselves and wanting to be better every performance. Through extensive training that happens, some try to legitimize it as a sport because of its competitive nature. As a dancer, you are always trying to beat your top score, but it is all based on a judge's opinion. According to All That Dance Company, there is no fair in dance. While there is certainly a scoring system in dance, there is just no way to declare a winner. You never really know what the judges are going to like, but with a sport like basketball, there are techniques that you would expect to see, and there's a scoring system that stays consistent from game to game. My junior year was definitely my big year, and the feelings that I had on stage were very impactful. I was going to be performing a brand new solo and a new solo that I had been competing all season. My new solo ended up beating my old solo, and this really just shows the inconsistencies of my own and the judge's own opinion. People watch dance because it tells a story, not because of how high you place at the competition. It's a feeling that you were able to embody to the audience, and the effort to try and win the judges over, but overall, make yourself happy. Lastly, with dance, you call the shots. There are not any parts of the competition that says you have to accomplish specific moves in order to win. Every single detail matters. With other sports, you can't really match anybody, and you have to make your bodies look the same with dance. According to Dance With Me USA, dance is a medium for which we show the world who we truly are. But with dance, if a person is off, it affects your whole performance and can cause a picture to be manipulated in a way that was not planned. There is no reason why your score shouldn't be pretty high if you are the one calling the shots. With a solo or even a big group dance, it is the dancer's job to decide that they are going to go through with the movement, and they are the sole keeper of what happens. There are divisions, just like any regular sport, but they are also not consistent. The tiers are based on how many days a week that you are in the studio training. Some studios decide to put their best girl in the lower categories just so they can win the category. There's really nothing to do about this, and people can get away with winning in the lower categories. The competition world allows dancers to make them into someone that they really want to be, and is also a way to provide the positives and negatives of the activity. As a dancer, others need to know that dance should not be considered a sport. Now that I have explained that it's an art form, the fact that there is no universal scoring system, and the freedom of the activity, it is in the dance world's hands to take the action to recognize that dance may consist of some of the greatest athletes, but it is not a sport. It is what comes from within a dancer and allows dancers everywhere to spread what they love through the art form and its undeniable beauty.